Hey everyone, my name is Vinny. Welcome to the channel. You know most van tours you see, they are these finished, glamorous masterpiece. Well, mine is more like a mock-up and a real-world review. I just finished a crazy 6 weeks, 6,000 miles of road testing. And this is what my van, which is only about 20% complete, looks like. I totally skipped the final finish because I need the truth. What actually breaks out there and what works before I commit to the whole design. For me, van building is never really done. There's no perfect layout, just the one that works best for you. Let's jump in and check out the lesson learned. So starting with the outside, after 5 years and 90,000 miles in my minivan camper, I finally upgraded to this 2025 Mercedes all-wheel drive Sprinter. I settled on it mainly because of the higher ground clearance. Because of this, these side steps were not just for aesthetics, they are straight up necessity. I like these because the installation was totally straightforward and something I could do myself. So far I really like how it turns out. If you want the full detail, how to on the side steps, I have the link down in the description. Another not so common but essential functional upgrade is the front window deflectors. I had these on my old van and they work great. They let me keep the window open for ventilation even in the rain, which means I'm not always relying on the electric roof fan. Plus, it gives me a convenient way to pass any cable out, such as the cell phone signal booster cable, out in any weather condition. Alright, let's talk about the cab environment, because when I picked up this new van, the road noise was so loud I could barely stand driving it. To solve that and prep the shell, I tackled sound deadening and thermal insulation all at once. To reduce road noise and metal rattling, I applied kill mat to about 70% of the bare metal. As far as I know from my research, going all out to cover every inch just wasn't worth the extra cost of effort for the minimal return in noise reduction. Then for thermal protection, I use 3M Finsulate. It works for both sound and thermal insulation and is perfect for those curved, hard to reach areas. Now for the rest of the flat surface, I'm using extruded polystyrene XPS rigid foam. For the floor, I have 1 inch thick R5 XPS right under the factory floor. I skipped the subframe entirely to eliminate thermal bridging. And here's a massive time and quality saver. Many builders trash the factory plywood floor and build a new one. For me, the factory floor is good enough for my use. Both approaches have pros and cons, and there's no perfect solution. I like the factory floor because it has only one seam. It also saves time and labor. Only time will tell if I make the right choice. The ceiling is where I put the most effort because that's where you get the highest heat loss in cold weather. Again, no framing up here. I installed 3 layers of XPS insulation, 2 in between the roof ribs and 1 covering all the ribs. They are held in place by these removable maple plywood ceiling panels. No messy adhesive or fasteners are needed for the insulation itself. The maple panel attached to the Sprinter's roof ribs using rivet nuts in the factory holes. This means if I ever need to run new wires or make a change, I can drop this panel in 5 minutes flat. This whole no-frame system survives 6,000 miles, and it is the best way to keep the cold out without losing headrooms. The first project I actually built was this platform for my dog. It raises him 11 inches so he can see everything, and the space underneath is the perfect spot for a drawer to hold his essentials. Can you move, Rocky? Thank you. Such as first aid kit, treats, and toys. Over here, I hung a bag behind the passenger seat for Rocky's additional storage. Everything here is for Rocky. Since I have a bad back, I can't rely on the Sprinter seat or a built-in bench for working. I need proper support, so I bring my proven mesh working chair, which I can sit in all day without pain. For eating and computer work, I just borrow the old removable tabletop from my minivan and fit it to the Lagoon table mount. It works well, but after the trip, I'll definitely be making it slightly bigger. Just above the windshield, I quickly threw up the headliner shelf before the trip. It is one of the most useful features in a camper van. I keep my front curtains, window covers, laptops, and the cell phone signal booster all right up here. It's not quite finished though. I'm still undecided if I should just leave the wood like this or cover it with marine vinyl. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Moving to the dash, I found the new Sprinter dash design a little out of date, especially the slippery dash top and the cup holders. So I took to my 3D printer and modified the center console cup holders to create a little snack tray for easy access while driving. However, I do like to have 4 cup holders here though. I will redesign the tray after the trip to include more cup holders. And for the cup holders up behind the windshield, I used my 3D printer and T-Track to create a custom mount that let me hold up to 6 devices such as phones, GPS, and camera, etc. Up above, I got a dash cam installed. Now for privacy, I DIY all the magnetic window covers myself using Reflectix insulation. They work great for reflecting heat from the sun during the day and giving me privacy at night. However, due to the new windshield camera bump out on this 2025 model year and the cover's overall large size, I'm honestly not sure the front one is going to last as expected. If you guys have found a commercial option online that perfectly fits the 2025 model year around that camera bump, please drop a link in the comments. I'd really like to know. The Galley looks done from the outside, but trust me, it's only 20% complete. No doors, no drawers. The outside panel is designed to be removable for future modification. I like to have more counter space and a fold-down table, which is almost a standard feature for most camper van. I went with a standard 24 inches wide countertop and honestly, a pretty large sink for a short wheelbase van. But it is not just for dishes, it is a convenient place to wash my hair, which is a big win for me. For the faucet, I simply reused the USB battery powered water dispenser from my old van. I only had to charge it once in 6 weeks. I keep my plumbing really simple so I never have to worry about winterizing. Under the sink, I use 2 5-gallon jugs for grey and fresh water, and I carry 2 more in the garage, bringing my total fresh water to 17 gallons. It might seem small, but I prioritize keeping the rig light and nimble for better fuel economy. I have 2 fridges on this trip. I bought the ice cold 40 liter for my minivan 5 years ago, and it is still running strong. I use it to keep most of my fruit and vegetables. Since my bed is high, this fridge actually acts as my footstep to get into bed. On the driver's side, I have my new 6-liter dual-zone fridge freezer. This is a true game changer for ice cream and frozen foods. During the entire 6 weeks trip, the freezer kept my fish, shrimp and other frozen foods solid without draining the battery, and it was surprisingly quiet. Now on my previous trips, the fridge just sat on the floor, and I hate constantly bending over. Raising this fridge to counter level is so much more ergonomic and makes grabbing things incredibly easy. I'm really pleased with this change. The top of the fridge is flush with the counter, so it doubles as workspace. To power everything, I have a few power stations: an EcoFlow Delta 2 Max, a Vitoman, and a UD Power, which combine for about 4,650 watt-hours. Plus, I have 3 lithium batteries with another 4,000 watt-hours. For charging, I rely on a 200 watt EcoFlow bifacial and a 400 watt Vitoman portable solar panel. It is not the final ideal setup, but it powered the entire trip without ever running out of juice. For lighting, I mostly use 2 simple magnetic camping lanterns and didn't even touch the van's built-in lights. Finally, my fixed bed and garage. I love a fixed bed. Making and unmaking a bed every day just isn't for me, and I need a big garage. I position the bed high enough so I can sit upright, maximizing the storage below. I placed all my electrical components on the driver's side and plumbing on the passenger side. As you can see, most of my stuff is in bags and containers, making it super cluttered. Everything has to be tied down or it flies all over the place. So I temporarily put in some wood strip to stop things from sliding. So that's the full mock-up tour. After 6,000 miles, here are the final critical lessons learned that will shape the rest of the build. This is the truth about what worked and what needs to change. The big success: the side steps and window deflectors. Total success, no regret. The galley a bit small. The galley dimensions need further refinement. I need a flip-up table to increase counter space, and a flip-down table for cooking outside. Drawers need different sizes, and a narrower drawer for spice and tall bottles is a must. Water tank relocation. The space under the sink is too valuable for water jugs. They are definitely relocating to the garage for better storage. The cup holder crisis. The desk mod took away 2 cup holders, and I really need 4 in the front. Too large and too small. I'm going back to the drawing board for a new 3D printed design. The dog bed problem. My poor dog's bed cushion keeps sliding and his legs extend too far into my space. Back to the drawing board on that one. Despite being only 20% completed, the insulation kept the interior cool during rest stops, and I had a great time with no major issues. That's the takeaway, guys. You don't have to wait for a fully complete camper to enjoy camping. Time never waits. Just go out and enjoy whenever you feel like it. If you enjoyed this mock-up and review and like to see how I fix these problems and build out the rest of the van, hit like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the road.